welcome to a new shoutcast from Toe. It's been a really long time, but we played some nice games and I thought it would be fun to do some shoutcasts again, especially since Ben is pretty inactive at the moment. But still, I thought it would be nice to do at least a shoutcast on one of Ben's maps. He made like a handful of maps. And I think this is the most played one. It's called Rebound. It had some fixes since the original one was released, but it's mainly in the fighting area in the center. Like I said, it's one of the better maps he made. Not that the map is like really good, but it's different. And that's the thing I like when I play this map. It's when he made this map, he had an idea to make a resource pretty close and plenty as well. Like for instance, iron close, coal, gold, enough trees, stone, nice, all nice. But the problem is food. It's low, really low. And you start with no fish, and there is no fish on this map. There is some water, but there's no fish in it, only some ducks. But that's about it. And I think the most easy locations are the ones in the center, on the middle I should say. Especially, let me speed it up a bit. This one, this is log 6. Look how close it is to iron. Gold is really close. Big coal field here, plenty of space. I think if you also grab the wood that's up here on the top left section, that you have no problems with wood the rest of the game. Best setup is to play this left versus right, but because the middle locks are like better than the corner locks in this map, we like to play it random. Mr. Vu ended up here on the other side, log 3. It's almost as good as log 6. I think the space is a little bit better. Trees are also nice, a lot of trees. Actually more than one. Woodcut to cut it all down. And like I do myself when I play here, he's also reaching for the trees up here in the north right away. I play myself on this corner lock. I'd say most people think it is the best of the 4 corners. I'm not really sure, since I think wood is not really great here, because the wood in the center you always need to cut away because of building space. It's not too much. You cannot build in this direction because this is blocking you. The coal, it's not ideal to build on it. And there's also room for woodcutters, of course. What is important on any of those logs, because starting resources are the same for all logs, is that you go for at least one farm as fast as possible. Gold, always important to have set up fast. You start with 50 timber but also 50 stone, so I personally like to set up 5 quarries so you won't run out of stone. And if you reach for trees also here in the south, then you shouldn't have any big problems with wood. For this setup I don't want to rely on early bakeries or anything like that, so I want to have like a super spam of leather I want 8 farms. I have them up before 25 minutes. It's pretty fast. And I wanted to do it on 4 swine farms and a stable. But then someone said to me that Aqua over here is doing pikes in this map lately, so I swapped this stable later on, which I don't even make at all, with a 5th piggy. Okay, we play with Baldy himself, but he changed his nick. His name is Dr. Bold from now on. He's from the RA clan, and yeah, it's a decent player. What I noticed right away is that he's going to get the wood in this section here, which I think is nice and also necessary. Because I remember in the first version Ben released this map, we tested it multiplayer, then some people were complaining about the build space here. I believe he moved the coal field a bit further to the right if I remember correctly, and also moved some of the forest that was up here further to the right. It's a little bit too far in my opinion, but Bolt made nice fast woodcutters here, so it's no problem for him. But I think this is the hardest log to play on, at least when I speak for myself. Our opponents were here, this I believe log 1. Guy Drains, he's a fairly new player from the Czech Republic, playing with us on TeamSpeak for a few months now. He has his own gameplay, and he's pretty decent. He's so afraid of dying that he'd go for double bakery. But the problem is that you need so much more farms to get your leather up and running. It's possible, it takes some time. He has nice early iron up here. Storing it in the storehouse already before making barracks. In my opinion, if you make before 40 minutes into the game about 12 shields and 12 armor, and you have later on enough swords and recruits, of course, but you can get, if you have no problems with food, 40 swordsmen out. It runs really efficient. He complained after the game he had some problems with wood, but in my opinion he went a little bit too late on the north where his main forest is. Put some woodcutters here. Here we have Aqua, he's a pretty new player from the Netherlands, playing with him sometimes. He's not really good yet, but he plays in on the best log of the house, so to speak, log 6. He's doing a pretty good job. His wood seems nice. Check, yeah, 3 sawmills, 3 trunks. Farms look really nice. 4 swine farms already, a bakery, make another butcher, it's good. Leather seems okay. Already making recruits. Yeah. Last player here is Jaskinia Trolley. And that's, I don't know, Polish for multiple trolls or something like that, I've heard. But it's just he disguised himself because his real name is Yahoo. Yahoo mostly plays with this color. He's better known as the player who always makes knights, also this game. It's a bit tricky, of course, since I heard some people dying. He had the stable up. It's risky because of low food. He does have a bakery, of course, and 3 pig farms. Here, it's a real tricky trade. Wooden shields for bread. It's 1-to-1. It's pretty effective trade. Almost 70 serfs. Making a lot of swords. No big amount of knights yet. If you see him make even a second stable here, could be really interesting. Then we have Fu with his own style of playing. Fu is actually one of the better players on this map in my opinion, but that's because he developed his own strategy going for vineyards really early in the game. I think before he makes his in. So he has no problems with food really, even when he has a fairly low amount of farms. Towers up, waiting for food. I went myself like really big leather based with late iron going for pikes only, but I was dumb enough to think there were 4 iron mines here, I don't know why. But that's why my iron's left behind a bit compared to other players, but my leather is pretty nice. Let's take a look at barracks. By the way, I made a mistake here with putting up a road for tower when I had no fishing, but there's no use of placing tower there. But it is really important to place a tower on this entrance. Many people overlook that, but if enemy knight will come scouting here, you can scout inside your base, see if you have full or empty inn, what production you have, and maybe more annoying for this player who's counting on your to protect him, his flank. He can also be scouted. It's really annoying. Fu has lately a mixture of all kinds of troops. But this time he's a little low on leather yet, but he doesn't like lance or bows, so he only make X-fighters. If he spams X-fighters like this, you could have later on like real big amounts of X-fighters. Knights were still a little low at this point, so are recruits, but he's making pikes and crossbowmen. Dr. Bolt, nice leather, not enough wooden weapons. Three weapon makers, 5 armory workshops, all making leather. Yeah. But looks nice. He has the most farms, 10 farms. It's maybe a little bit over the top, but then he has, you see, 4 swine farms and a stable and the mill. So he's going for spam. That's really nice. Here we have Guy Drains who went for iron early. Yeah, you see he didn't get 40, but it's because his swords are running a little bit out of sync with the armor and shields. Because of wood problems he had low wooden weapons. Yeah, recruits are okay. Aqua has for his game, yeah, he had a nice game. Also a few horse for scouting. Swords are okay. No axes yet. And this seems nice, but it's a little bit below efforts because he lacks some wooden weapons. Anyway, let's slow this down. It's a shame I don't have horse because I won't get rewarded with knights who can scout easily around the map right at peace time. But you can always scout with some militia units, but they're very slow and easy to catch by knights who are roaming. Get back, yeah. Roaming around by knights who are going over the map right now, but more important than scouting in my opinion is to do a good anti-scout. So enemy can't see what you have inside your base, maybe not even see what troops you have. Who had some knights, so he scouted here already. We can see Yahoo has a group of knights, pretty fast. He can assist anywhere. It's the biggest advantage I think of knights. Is that they can move so quickly and assist in battle somewhere else pretty fast, if needed. And I have only slow units like bows, pikes. So to avoid chasing around his army all the time, it's good to have a solid position set up after peacetime. Bold, maybe because he names himself Bold, but he's bold enough to get really close to the enemy fast. So he's pretty sure himself he has a good army. But then he sees, of course, he cannot face two armies alone, so he needs to get back. He needs to back up a little. And then there are the problems of the knights. We're running around this map. It's really annoying. But luckily I have a lot of pikes. So me and Yahoo here are still searching for the best position, because I obviously need to go to the center as quick as possible. But when I get there, Yahoo comes to my base. I don't want to get rushed, of course. And with 5 piggies, bows are coming in extremely fast, so I made like 2 extra armory workshops to go for axe fights, because there's no need to have more than, I don't know, 50-60 bows, because if you have too much bows and not enough melee to defend it, it's kind of useless. Bold is still at this position. Fu is trying something here, but he had like low recruits at peacetime, so he cannot do anything really. But for the fact that Yahoo is trying to do a rush with Guidance and Aquan, Bold and Fu, at least the least thing I can do is send some pikes to protect their range. They backed up a bit, but they are about to be flanked by Yahoo here. So they need to be placed a little bit further back even, until I have my army set up here. You see how annoying he constantly moving with the knights. Very well done. Yeah, maybe he's trying to cut off my reinforcements. But pikes are too close, so he gets back. Yeah, here you see, like most players do, they dance around with knights in front of their range, hoping to get the enemy ranged. Especially against bows, it's really it pays off. Problem only is nowadays X bows are so strong against knights that even a small group like this can take down a dancing enemy knight in front of his range. So you need to be careful with that. Decided to set up position here And he's trying to outmaneuver me. He's, in my opinion, was that he made it itself too difficult in this attack, because he attacked me with his swords on pikes. It's a good thing when it's backed up by a small group of bows. We lost this because I outnumbered him with pikes. His knights in this fight were useless because of my pikes. I decided to attack Ikra and remaining troops of Yahoo here. Assisted by Fu, who uses knights here like on front line, and that's the thing I think is really overlooked. Most people use knights to flank or scout or whatever, but a good thing is to also use them in front line, especially against swords who are always around right after peacetime. Most people make them, train them, so they're really good. I lost all my leaders. I should be careful with this group of bows, since Yahoo's knights are still alive. You notice that both Bolt and Gadrains haven't touched each other yet. Still waiting for the best opportunity to engage in combat. I need to reposition myself because Yahoo's trying to flank me with his knights. Even going through the back door here. So I need to split pikes. Because you know, like in Knights Emergence, once your melee is catched, then you cannot move or do anything with the troops, so you need to split it before they engage. And this is a bad move by Yahoo. Luckily is in his whole group. He lost this group of knights while he was busy setting a position here in the north. Because he lost a decent amount of troops in the first fight, he needs to be assisted by Akra's teammate, who still has. There's all his troops. Oh no, he was here in the fight as well. You can see also in this game that Gadrains is a very cautious player. Like he, I wouldn't say that he doesn't take initiative, but he's only going in when he thinks he can win. And sometimes, and that's in my opinion his weakness, he waits too long and he doesn't. He isn't in time to help his teammates, for instance. But a good player learns from his mistakes, of course. They are driving back Gadrains and the remains of Akra's army, who has set up great towers here, I must say. Maybe a little bit too close to each other, but no towers here at all. But our team can't see that, of course. In the meantime, the big fight is going on here. I'm up against most of it is Yahoo's army, some of Akra's troops here as well, and now you can see the knights finally paid off because they kill almost all my ranged troops here. Still he lost enough troops for himself, mostly quality. And I have enough new troops coming in, but they need to go here to the south because the big battle here has begun. This I like, the flanking of Fu's X-fighters. You see, Guidelines has no melee left, so he needs to retreat behind his towers. But then Bolt has big ruler melee left. Fu still has a lot of X-bows. It's easy to go inside of Eagle's base. We have towers here, like I said. Yeah, Bolt's always trying to flank bows some way or another. Sometimes it fails. This time, with my reinforcement, I managed to kill off Yahoo's army. Baker's barracks is down, and the X-fighters inside Guidrain's base. Yeah. So the replay is over. Let us check the statistics. You can see I have most troops due to my 5 piggy strategy. Yahoo benefited from it. He has most kills. Equalizer did okay this game, you see. Army statistics, economy, not interesting. This is interesting sometimes. Food. Yeah, interesting. Guidance always has most stones mined. That's because he makes the most towers. I see it time and time again in every game. Iron, I was low. Yahoo at most. Gold, I usually have most gold because most of the time I do like triple gold smelter. Yeah, food did wine. I had most corn for a very long time, but then Bolt made 10 farms. So he catched up with me. Everybody did bread except me. 5 piggies give you almost 200 leather. Yeah, over 100 pigs. It's pretty impressive. Many X's, by the way. Bikes. Horse and no fish, because there was no fish. Now, I like to do this shoutcast. I hope you liked it as well. It was an entertaining game for us. And visit us on TeamSpeak if you want to play with us. And I'd like to see you next time. Bye bye.